My name's John, and I watch a lot of YouTube, and my daughter recently said, you know, Dad, you do all the same stuff, you should do it on YouTube. First I kind of blew it off, and so that might be something fun to do with my girls. But here we are in Western PA, and you know, we do a lot of stuff here on around the house that's just kind of fun to do, but it's one of the first nice days this year, and this time of year we like to make maple syrup. So I'm going to take you along while we go collect some sap. And this here is my trusty sap hauling machine, and I've had it for a few years. I think it's a 2018 Ranger. There is my first bucket. Let's see what we got. There's a lot of sap in that one. And this is kind of how I do it. You can see my tap in the tree here, and I run it into these buckets, and you know, it kind of works for me. A lot of people use tubing into bigger tanks, and we'll get there someday, but like most people, I got more projects, wants, and needs than I got time and money. And we'll check that bucket there. Not quite as good, but some. Close it up there. Back in the trusty sap hauler. See my dog running out there. He's a goofball, but we love him. And out here's where the majority of my buckets are, out and across what we call the swamp. And some of it's my property, some's my in-laws, some are my neighbors, but they let me tap. Oh. That one looks like it's got a good bit of sap, huh? It's been a lot colder than normal this year. Normally I'd start doing this in mid-February, sometimes even early February. This year it was froze all of February, and sap doesn't run when it's froze. You need daytime temperatures above freezing, and ideally in the 40s. And nighttime you want it to get back to freezing, because it's a temperature differential that makes it flow. Creates a pressure in the tree, I guess. But this year it's been pretty cold, and even when it first warms up, my trees seem to need a few days to get good and warm before they start really producing. They're red maples, not the sugar maples. Red maples typically aren't as sweet, and everybody says, John, why don't you tap sugars? And well, because I got red maples right here in front of my house. The sugar maples, there's some of the neighbors have, but you get into trucking it all over the place. I don't know. a lot more effort. It's easy for me to run out here after work. Be a lot harder if I had to go somewhere. But the red maples typically take 75 gallons to make 1 gallon of syrup. And normally I have a lot more than this. This year's sap flow has been a lot less than it's been the last couple. I don't know. It's pretty dry out here last summer. I'm not sure if that's a part of it or not. Normally there's a couple over here that do pretty well, and sometimes I'll drive the side-by-side through here, but it was awful wet this past weekend, and I'm trying to keep the mud down some. Plus, I got the fat belly disease, so I need to walk a little more. There goes Corey the dog. He's only about a year old now. That's not a bad bet right there. Any of these buckets doing any good? Almost nothing. It just has not been a good year for sap. Now, I did hear from one of the old timers on a online chat that after a drought year you get much less sap, but it's a lot sweeter. So I don't know if that's true or not. We'll find out. And if you had sweeter sap, it would take less to make a gallon of syrup. So, kind of hoping he's right, otherwise it's going to be a slim year. This tree here normally produces a good bit of sap. Well, we got the last of our buckets and we're heading back to the house. I'll show you guys what I do with it once I get there. So this is my little reverse osmosis rig, and what it does is it takes about half the water out of the sap, and it also filters it for me, but it reduces my boil time about in half. I don't have the world's best evaporator at this point, or unlimited time to boil sap. You know, if I get 8-10 gallons an hour boiled, you know, and it takes 70 gallons to make 1 gallon of sap, so this takes it down to, and I need 40 gallons of concentrate, and it cuts my time in half. Yeah, last year I might have 200-300 gallons of sap, and I'd concentrate it down to 150 gallons of concentrated sap, and I'd be boiling for 12 hours, sometimes longer. So if I was trying to do 300, I'd have to go all day, all night, and you know, that takes a lot of firewood too. So this is pretty nice, doesn't use a lot of electricity. It's got a pressure switch. So once I get her going, we'll go have us some dinner. Typically one of my favorite times of day. But what you got here is a filter and the 300 reverse osmosis membranes and a little pump in there. And it's been off for a while, so I gotta build up pressure manually. And then I can plug the pressure switch back in, and oh, doesn't have enough pressure. There we go. Now you can hear the pressure building. That should be enough now. Let's try it. See what we get. There we go. Intake. Oh, I bumped the switch. So here's my concentrate coming out. This is pure water. Normally this is what you drink if you were using it the other way around. I normally let it go in the drain, but toward the end of the day I save a bucket of pure water and run that back through the RO when I'm done, and cleans it out real good. And you know, you don't want that sugar just sitting in there, so that flushes it out, and it's good for a day or two like that. And then it's going to be longer before I use it again. You clean it out with hydrogen peroxide and, you know, get it ready to put up for a while. Anyway, I'm going to let this run and go get some dinner.